Alias names, and why they matter when conducting background investigations. Did you know that 1 in 3 people have an alias? It's a common myth that alias names are always searched when a background check is conducted. So what could you be missing if you don't search all aliases? Well, we have seen sex offenders stay under the radar and convicted criminals avoid detection by providing an alias name. Whether you're running a pre-employment background check, discrete background investigation, or due diligence investigation, it is critical that you identify all possible names used by a subject. Sometimes, subjects will intentionally provide an alias name because they have a criminal history and they don't want it to be uncovered. Other times, it can just be as simple as a woman provides her married name and not her maiden name. It is crucial to remember that criminal court records and civil cases are indexed by name. On the criminal side, most courts allow searching by name and date of birth, while civil courts typically are searched by name only. When you are searching court records directly at a court website, or when you search a commercial database, you will only get back information on the name you searched. You don't automatically get results on alias names used by your subject. This means that if you're using a tool like Westlaw or Lexis, you will not get back court records under an alias name. So, how do you uncover all names used by a subject? It starts by conducting research to profile the subject. I recommend that a search of limited credit header databases be conducted. This is the quickest and most inexpensive way to see if your subject has used any aliases. This type of research will also provide you with an address history of your subject so you know which states and counties to conduct your research in. Next, I suggest that a driving record be run. If the subject is using a different name or a variation of what you have, the driving record is a great resource to see how the subject is legally representing their name. One other thing to keep in mind is that criminal cases and civil cases are filed under the legal name of the subject, not their nickname. Many times, clients provide us with a name like Bud or Roxy or Jackie. It is very important that you conduct research to verify the legal name of the subject before conducting your research. Remember, if your subject goes by the name Mike, but his legal name is Michael, you need to run both names when conducting your research. The same concept applies if your subject is Steve Richards. You should be searching Steve Richards and Steven Richards. This same concept would apply if someone goes by Susie, but their real name is Susan. Once you have all the names used by the subject and a history of the states and counties they have resided in, you can start your research. Here's a bonus tip. When it comes to criminal and civil court records, there isn't a reliable tool to search all courts. So I recommend that you search all names developed in all states and counties that your subject has lived or worked in. Now, I want to share a few examples of cases we have handled where developed. In the first example, the subject was a sex offender. He was a registered sex offender on one name in the state of Illinois. However, he came to California and he presented his name as something different and did not disclose the fact that he was a registered sex offender in Chicago. By conducting our investigation to profile this individual and develop his alias name, we uncovered the fact that he was a registered sex offender in the state of Illinois and had failed to register in the state of California, and he was using another name. In another case, we had a client operating the home healthcare space that we conducted a pre-employment background check on. The subject provided an alias name during the disclosure process of a pre-employment background check. The social security number trace showed an alias that wasn't provided. When we ran the alias name, we found multiple criminal cases with convictions. Wouldn't have been found if we ran only the provided name. In this case, if we didn't uncover the case tied to the applicant's alias, we would have exposed our clients' clients to unneeded risks and possible harm. Also, because the client is in the healthcare space, they would have been out of compliance with their insurance and licensing because they would have hired someone with a criminal conviction. In another example, we were conducting an investigation in a case where a due diligence background investigation was required, and the alias search allowed us to develop the social media accounts listed under the alias name. This allowed us to locate a business that was set up by our subject who was under a non-compete with our client. These are just a few examples of cases where an alias search really made the difference in the investigation. Remember that 1 in every 3 people has used an alias name, and alias searches aren't always included, so be sure to ask for them. If you have any questions about alias searches or anything background check related, please let me know. Thanks.